Call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock, 7:01. This is a public hearing on the exchange of property from the Great Falls property incorporated to the town of Canaan in exchange for 2 easements, one through the parking lot to connect to the rear of the Falls Village Inn, and one an easement along the space between the north side of the building and the Falls Village Inn, so that they can reach the patio and the bar entrance from the street. Yeah, so did somebody bring a copy of the call?
Yep, go ahead. So this is just the warning for tonight. Warning, Town of Canaan public hearing Friday, October 27th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Senior Center at 107 Main Street, Falls Village, Connecticut. Electors and other qualified to vote at town meeting are hereby warned of a public hearing for the town of Canaan, Falls Village, Connecticut, to be held at the Senior Center at 107 Main Street on Friday, October 27th, 2023. To hear the town's plan of an exchange of property between the town of Canaan, owner of property located at 35 Railroad Street in Falls Village, the former fire station property, and Great Falls Property LLC, owner of the abutting property located at 33 Railroad Street, Falls Village. The property exchange involves a transfer of a portion of the property owned by Great Falls Property LLC to the town of Canaan in order for the existing building on the town property to comply with zoning setback requirements, and a conveyance by the town of Canaan to Great Falls Property LLC of a vehicular easement across town property and a pedestrian easement along the northern side of town property. A copy of a map showing the proposed land transfer is available for inspection at the town hall, 108 Main Street, Falls Village, Connecticut, 06031. Robert's Rules of Order will prevail as parliamentary law. In accordance with the principles of a deliberative meeting under Robert's Rules, participation will be reserved to those present. Respectively submitted by the Board of Selectmen, Henry W. Todd, First Selectman, Greg Marlowe, Selectman, David Barger, Selectman.
For those coming in a little late, I'm gonna hand out. We're gonna explain this gruesomely. Okay.
And also, just everybody, this is a recorded meeting. It is a Zoom meeting as well, so I just wanted y'all to know that this is being recorded as we speak.
And if you ask any questions, please identify yourself.
That would be a great idea. We have not chosen a moderator for this meeting, and we just thought that we would handle it ourselves. I think, does everybody that wants one have a copy of the yellow sheet so that they can stare at it? And we're going to try and explain it. If you put the AEA to your right, and you will see that Railroad Street would be on the left side of this map. The inn is exchanging or giving us the land in a 30-foot stretch to the back of the building and to the back of the alleyway that's between the inn and the 33 Railroad Street. In turn, we are giving them 2 easements. An easement along the alleyway between the north side of Railroad Street, which would be, and the south side of the Falls Village Inn. We are also giving them an easement for access of 24 feet to connect to the back of the inn so that they can get supplies in there. And that is the total amount. It does make a lot, a conforming lot, which is important. And the reason that we're selling the parking lot along with it is that we can't make a conforming lot into two non-conforming lots by P and Z ruling. So are there any questions, any comments from either one of you too?
I think we'll just take questions and it might take some explaining.
Yeah, I understand that the building does not have adequate septic system.
Which,
So where would that go?
Would you please identify yourself, please, Mrs. Jensen?
Huh?
Please identify yourself so we know.
Sorry, I didn't get-
That's it.
Yeah, so I will repeat the question then.
Please.
The building requires adequate septic for whatever that operation will be. Where would the septic go?
the septic, as it's proposed by George Johansson, can go in two places. As I understand it, the most likely place is if you look at the back of the parking lot, up the side of the hill, that is suitable for a septic system up there, and that has been okayed by AEA and Torrington Area Health. As the Torrington Area Health District, of which we are a part, has already okayed that for use as a septic system.
And the potential buyer would be responsible to put the septic in?
Yes,
Fully.
Off the top?
yes.
Fully responsible.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Peter?
Peter Jensen, what's the square footage of the newly created, let's say newly expanded lot?
You know, I don't think I can answer that question.
And how I would follow that up, why I'm asking that question is then, what
359.
is the sales price of all of that? And how does that align with what, you know, lots are selling for in the town? Is it, because it looks like a huge lot, especially that back area. And it seems like 300K, 300,000 is a very inexpensive amount of money for a very large lot that then something could be built on the back, I imagine.
No, you couldn't
Not
build,
anything be built on the back.
no, because then you would have then it would be a non-conforming lot
How would
again.
it be, what would make it non-conforming?
Because you'd have to split it into two parcels. And that's where the septic system is gonna go.
If the septic was gonna go on the front part of that back area, then something could be built on the back.
I don't think that would ever be possible under our zoning laws.
Okay, but again, my question still holds, what is the size of the lot, number one, and then do you have any idea of what lots are selling for in the village per square foot?
We do, and we had the lot and the building appraised by two separate people. And we sold it for, are willing to sell it for $20,000 under the appraised value. And we did that because we thought that whoever bought that building would have to put a lot of money into it to make it feasible for whatever use that they might have. James Cameron, Gillespie is sitting over here. He bid for the property under that use. I do not believe that anybody could build property on that land other than the building as is.
It's roughly, and we'll get a, that's a great
Rough
question.
is good enough.
Roughly 1,000 square feet.
Excuse me?
Roughly 1,000 square feet.
1,000?
Yeah, 1,090.
No, 10,000.
Of the whole lot or of
I'm
the,
talking about the lot.
oh, the whole lot, I apologize.
The whole,
Okay, we were looking at.
I thought you were talking about the piece that we would, if this passes, acquire.
Oh, yeah.
I apologize.
Oh,
it'd be about 0.5 acres. Yes. Yeah,
Oh, okay, but you know your problem, up here. Is it not true that, the way that this will work, once the town moves the easements, hopefully, okay? Then, the proposed, building that is going to go on there, they will go to the P and Z and ask for a change of zone, which has already been brought through with the detention fire. The P and Z has explained all of this, not that something couldn't change, but the lot will then become a conforming lot in the center of the town for the purpose that the buyer wants to use that lot. Is that not right?
Correct.
Okay. And, the septic can go where Twenty Area Health District has proposed, so that's not a problem. We know that the septic, it will be the responsibility of the person who, buys the building. And then you've got the easement so that the inn can get their, I guess their food, whatever else has to go, in through the parking lot to behind where they can get it. So this is, a board of selectmen have got all of this out through the past number of months, consulted with the P and Z to make sure that everything that is presented at this meeting is accurate and will work. Am I correct in making those
Yes, you're
assumptions?
correct. Yes, you are.
Any other questions?
Judy Jacobs, I'm just, could you explain to us laymen exactly what is involved with the easement? Does the town still retain ownership of that property, but they
Yes.
have a right of way?
We own the property, but we grant them the right to drive a truck through it, or a car, or a chef who wants to get to the back of the building.
Okay,
We own the property. We will own the property then.
continue to own it, so.
And just for clarity, Judy, easements, even though it's put on a map in a certain spot, it could be worked out somewhere in the future if they wanted to move it one way or the other, as long as it's that same dimension. So an easement runs with the land, but they don't, the person who has the easement does not own it. They just have the right ingress and egress.
Okay, that makes sense, because right now it looks like it would be pretty much smack in where.
No, an easement allows them usage, but ownership rests with the owner of the property.
And is this the same proposal that was made ages ago?
Pretty much.
And it took this long for it to be accepted?
I guess that is, yeah,
Yeah, the town will, when the action takes place, when we actually adjourn this meeting and go to the vote on election day, the easement that we will be granted will transfer to the new owner of the property, is that correct?
that's
Just
correct.
so that everybody understands.
That's
So
correct.
once the town sells the building, the easements for that go with the property,
Those are
Correct,
the land.
correct.
That is correct.
just so there's no confusion.
That's easement in perpetuity.
That's
That's what I
correct.
was, that's what I was going to ask.
Yes,
Let's say that the potential buyer sometimes later down the road wants to sell it, what happens with the easement?
It stays
It
there.
still
it
stays.
stays with the land, it's in perpetuity. And the same for 33 Rail Street, the current inn, that same right will retain to that property, not to the ownership.
Okay,
Peter Jemison, question, why the pedestrian easement when, I guess that's to access the patio?
Yes,
Why not just build the steps in front?
Off the
And vacate the steps, off the street and vacate the steps, in the alleyway, and then you don't need an easement at all? Why? Is there a purpose for that? Maybe someone could stand and answer that question.
Sue, would you like to answer that question?
It's pretty simple.
Mhm.
It's a super easy way to get out of your car, walk up a pathway that has been designed during the pandemic for outdoor dining, for people to get to the patio.
Right, but wouldn't it be easier just to go from the street? Why
How
the
is it
easement?
bothering you? How is this bothering you?
No, I'm just asking.
that could happen. It was part of the negotiation in exchange for the land. That's what the current property owner at 33 Rail Street asked, and we thought it was a fair exchange.
Okay, look, okay, I understand that that was a give and take.
Yeah.
There wasn't any animosity on my question there whatsoever, so don't bite my head off. I was just asking, thank you.
Yes, there, if you look at the picture there, on the side closest to the inn, there's, a little part that isn't an easement, so that we have the setback requirement, is that correct? On that side?
Correct.
So,
That's correct.
Sue has the easement, so her customers can get into the breezeway. The owner of the properties that goes with the building, so they meet the setback requirements that zoning requires.
Correct.
Right, they couldn't build the building any further over to the
Right.
lot line, no matter what, because.
And over on the other side, when you're looking at the firehouse, way over in the right-hand corner, that's part of that property too. And actually, a number of years ago, we adjusted the line on that side. I think it was the street, if I remember correctly, that was like that.
Right.
That whole, all of that goes with the property.
That is correct.
Any other questions?
Hearing none, I will adjourn the hearing.
Make that motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank
Did you second?
Have a good evening.